Good morning, everyone. How you doing? Um, I hope everyone has had a great uh, February and beginning of March, New Year, and January. Even though January was kind of difficult for a lot of people. Okay, so I don't know what's going on with this light. Well, anyway, I wanted to talk to y'all today. Maybe that's it. Okay, I'm sorry. I wanted to come to you all today about something we've been brainwashed to do as of late. I don't recall our people doing this, but I see us doing this more and more, and that's that we've been uh brainwashed or coerced or whatever, got a spell on us, to whereas we identify as a slave. And we do so with pride, okay? We're doing it with pride. You know what I'm saying? Um, I have been on social media and I've seen people start uh, uh, like Twitter or even, YouTube and Facebook, especially. I've seen people start a subject and be talking about at the beginning, I'm a descendant of slaves. What? What are you talking about? Why you have to say that about yourself? What you talked about didn't have anything to do with what you said didn't have nothing to do with the subject that you ended up talking about. So I just want to bring this to our attention, okay? And like I don't know if I said it yet, but definitely we have a good example of this. It's called ADOS, American Descendant of Slaves. And this is not just the name of this organization that is representing our reparations claim. I am seeing people try to identify with this doggone word. Well, actually, it's an acronym with the word slave in it. I was online and one day and I was reading the comments on a video or something. I think it was Twitter. I'm not sure, but one lady was talking about we ought to change our name to ADOS, and I was like, wait, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now, I'm not gonna lie. I used to listen to Breaking Brown, Yvette Carnell, but when I saw when I heard the things that she was saying about us, and well, let me just tell you one thing that just really, really just made me fall out with her. She kept saying that first of all, we all came off slave ships. And then she kept saying the people who built this country came here at the bottom of slave ships. That's the biggest freaking lie. That is a lie. Okay? And then there's a couple other things that she said that kind of made me feel like she's an agent and a plant. I don't know what this is about the somebody or something behind these people, these agents, boulets, and these plants like Dr. Umar, Yvette Carnell, and Tone Talks, and all the rest of them, whereas they want us to call ourselves anything but just American, which is what we are, okay? And definitely why they are trying to get us to claim and identify as a slave on a daily basis. I have an idea, okay? I kind of feel like um, it has a lot to do with them further distancing us from this land, because if you don't know by now, I'm just going to tell you, we are on our own land. This is our land, okay? We had ancestry that came from Africa during the slave trade. We've had Africans really who was going back and forth or knew about this land, the Americas, for thousands of years. But we didn't all come from Africa during no slave trade. That is the biggest lie. That has been debunked over and over again. All you have to do is really, really study this history. There's clues in every subject that you you study concerning our history, especially when it comes to the fact that we had neighborhoods and communities all across America in the 1800s. We have fought in every war America has ever had. But don't forget to include wars that America does not talk about that has everything to do with us, like the Gullah Wars and the Seminole Wars. So you're going to have to definitely look beyond what you've been told. You have to search if you really want to learn this history and really want to find out for yourself that this is our land. So I just wanted to bring this to our attention. And I had this habit, this subconscious habit too. And I noticed this a few years ago. All right. So I've been noticing this for a while now. Um, and I'm sure a lot of us that when certain writers and historians, etc., speak of deeply melanated people in history, no matter who these people actually were, um, where they came from, uh, what they are, or how they dressed, or what their significance in history was, they always tend to refer to them as slaves if they were not on the African continent. Okay, so deeply melanated people are not primarily to be found on the African continent, and it has never been that way. We come from all over. You know, the world was has been deeply melanated for tens of thousands of years. Okay, so I'm not going to get into where life really began, because when we say it began in Africa, we're dealing with a theory. So, but that's not the subject that I wanted to come here and talk about. But I will say that when I was younger, like I mentioned before, I never heard our people constantly referring to their ancestors or themselves as slaves. They may have casually mentioned it, but it was never referred to as an identity to them. As a matter of fact, there may have been a little shame there or not. I don't know, but maybe it was just me. I don't know, but they just, it wasn't like, you know what, that's who we are. That's something that we have latched onto as of late. Um, like I have noticed it within the last 10 to 15 years. We have been slowly led to always reference slavery every time we think of ourselves, our people, our history, whatever. Okay. So, again, my perfect example is ADOS. People calling themselves ADOS today like they have changed their identity. This is so embarrassing. I just don't know really what to say about that, but we just got to wake up. Our people are waking up. Okay, so it's going to take a long time. So like I said, I was guilty of this too. About 11 years ago, I remember encouraging a former employee to study our history. The first book I referred to him was about slavery. When I thought about it, it kind of shocked me because I knew better. Because I had been, I'm not going to say I know everything there is to know about our history here in the Americas, because I don't. But I know enough to know that slavery was probably like 10, 15, maybe 20%, maybe more so less of our history. It's not like 99% of our history, okay? That's just like a chapter in the book concerning our history. That's not us. We are not slaves, okay? We are not permanent slaves. Somebody wants us to consider ourselves permanent slaves and disinherit us from this land. Talking about we all came off a boat from Africa. That is a freaking lie, okay? So, just to, give you a few things that you can study for yourself. You can study our people's war pursuits. You can study the history of the Buffalo Soldiers. Uh, the I think it was the 25th Cavalry and the 10th Cavalry. There's so many the towns, the thousands of towns we have everywhere in this country. What we have contributed to humanity, not just to this country or to these people, but things we have invented that is still being used today by humanity. We've had tons of historians, artists, it's just we're like always stuck on that 5% of what happened to our people, and a lot of us can't even find a slave in our family. Okay, so I'm just giving you some examples of where you can start when it comes to studying our history, besides thinking of ourselves and our life here on our own land in America, and the first thing that comes to your goddamn mind is slavery. That's a spell. That's one of the spells they've been putting on us. They want to disinherit you from this land too, talking about you came here at the bottom of the ship. That's like 10-15% of our ancestry and our story. But we were here, okay? I can't say that enough. So, I've been seeing some sad things. On Twitter, I saw where a brother, had recently tattooed ADOS on his back. He had the word ADOS on his back, y'all, and put some type of, I don't know if he put the fist or some type of artwork around it that kind of would make people think that he's proud of that label. An acronym that has the fucking word slave in it. And I already told you that is not the bulk of our history. All right? So these devils don't have to call us names anymore. We call ourselves that. They don't have to kill us anymore. We're doing a fine job of that. And they surely don't have to relegate us to a permanent slave title and status, because we proudly wear the fucking slave. I'm sorry that I'm kind of upset. This is bugging me. We wear this slave label and badge with honor. That's what we're doing today. Okay? Being, like I said, being a slave or being enslaved it is historical, but it's not our story. It's simply, like I said, a chapter in our book. All right. A lot of us can't even name an enslaved ancestor in our lineage. Like, for instance, on my mother's paternal side, there is no history of slaves. And we traced her family side back to 1798. The 1798. And those people, they were living in Virginia, Choctaw County, Alabama, which is now called Washington County, Alabama. They were married, they had children, they owned land. They made their money. They weren't slaves. All right? So we don't have no history of slavery. And on that side of the family, now I haven't been able to do my dad's side, and I haven't done my mom's paternal side of the family. We might find some ancestors who were enslaved and in bondage there, but not on my mom's side. We were always free, and we weren't freed people. We were free men. We weren't free men, freed men. We were free men. We were free. Okay, so we don't know this history at all. That's why that's why we do the things that we do. Because if we did know even a bit more of our history than we do, I'm gonna say a lot more, just a lot more, not everything, but if we knew some important things in our from a historical perspective, we wouldn't be calling ourselves slaves. We would be calling ourselves heirs. Yes, heirs. We are really heirs. And we weren't slaves, we were prisoners of war. Please study our history. This history, please. Like I said, I don't know everything, but the little bit that I knew is that I did learn, was able to learn from people, and from my own studies, blew my mind. And I know that we are heirs without a doubt. We are not descendants of slaves, okay? All right. So I just wanted to do this video to inform the rest of us. Like I said, I was there once too. I had to break that spell quick, fast, and in a hurry, especially since I've been learning more and more about our history. Do not let anybody refer to yourselves as slaves. Please, please stop it. That was, like I said, it's just a chapter in a book that has tons of history about our people in this country, on this land, before America became an American colony and all that stuff. Okay. I said, before America became an American colony, we had several colonies, and then really we're still colonized. These people that are ruling over us today are colonials. All right, they're colonials. If you want to know about our true history and what really happened, you want to make it easy on you as possible, you have to study American and European history. Let me say it again. You have to study American, European history. You cannot efficiently learn about our true history, who we truly are and what happened, talking about you studying Africa. You're not going to find us or find hardly anything, if anything, about what you need to know about us studying Africa. If you want to learn about the African empires, that's good. You got to separate that from your own you know place in on this earth, historical place on this earth. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. You're not a doggone slave. You're an heir. You're an heir to this land. You really and truly, a lot of us come from royalty. Please do your genealogy. When I say that, that's not a spit test. That's not your genealogy. You're going to have to do the bootleg work. Going through archives and talking to elders and looking at pictures and all kind of stuff. You can get somebody to do it. Please do your genealogy so you'll know who you really are. Okay. Thank you, everybody. I love you. Thank you again and again for listening to me. I hope that you get a lot out of this video. Please like and share so we can wake our people up. Peace. Have a good day, everybody.